Here's another oldie that's flown into the Tokoroa Airfield. It's a DeHavilland Chipmunk. Now, this particular example was made in 1949, spent a lot of time in India apparently, and then was brought out here by, I think the guy's name's Ethel, and he rebuilt it, because after spending a lot of time in India and being disused, obviously it wasn't in such good nick. But now it's a very pretty looking aircraft, and as you can see, done in the red and silver, and of course a lot of that silver is actual natural aluminium, or if you live in America, aluminum. And it's polished with Solvol Autosol, a really good metal polish. That's how he keeps it looking shiny. Of course the wings, also, these are a bit unusual, having an aluminium front half, the D section here, aluminium, but fabric on the back. So it's sort of a composite of aluminium skin and fabric, doped fabric skin. Really quite unusual, but I guess that's the way they decided to make it. And of course, like so many DeHavilland aircraft, it has the Gypsy major engine in it. Here we go. That's as seen in the Osters and the Tiger Moths and so many other, let's say, DeHavilland aircraft use this motor. It's a real workhorse. Not the most high performance motor in the world, but it just keeps on going. Here we go. And this one's driving a, I don't know what this prop is. It's a wooden prop. Driving a wooden prop, of course. Here are the twin Venturis used for instrumentation. Not quite sure how the instrumentation is set up. One of these might be used to drive the instruments by creating a vacuum. I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing, because we also have some pitot tubes. Here's a pitot tube up here, and there's another one underneath on this wing. So those should be providing the pressures for some of the instruments. Maybe these Venturis are simply providing the energy to drive the gyros and something. I don't know. And as you can see, huge numbers of rivets go into these aircraft, these aluminium skinned aircraft, massive numbers of rivets. And the tail section is pretty much like the wing, the actual main plane of the tail. Here, this is aluminium, but we've got fabric on the actual elevator surface, and there's the trim tab. What always amazes me about these aircraft is how Heath Robinson, some of the connections are, look at this, look like just a Bowden cable or something, just a cable onto that horn. Ooh, and your life depends on things like that. And of course around the back here, I dare say a lot of this aluminium panelling would have been handcrafted back in these days. You can tell by sort of the shape of it. It doesn't look like it's been mass produced. But yeah, and again with the rudder, the vertical stabilizer is aluminium skin, but the rudder itself is fabric. Now I don't know if this is standard equipment, but it looks awfully like the door handle off a British car, doesn't it? Complete with the little key attachment and the push button. And that's what they use for securing the canopy. Interestingly enough, it's categorized as an experimental aircraft, even though it's a GA aircraft. It means general aviation. It's a light aircraft, but it's got an experimental tag on there. Don't know why. The undercarriage struts are faired. They have a aerodynamic sort of cowling on them there. Apparently this particular aircraft crashed into the sea a while back and spent 4 hours in salt water, so they had to pull it out, hose it down and spray it with CRC, and now it flies again. So there you have it, the DeHavilland Chipmunk. One of the oldest planes we've had in here, but in its own way, one of the prettiest.